News with breaking news.
Breaking this morning, Omaha fire crews battle an early morning house fire. This happened around 2 o'clock this morning near 25th and Ellison. Crews found smoke and flames coming from the home when they got there. They end up rescuing a man. Thankfully, he was not injured. 2 people who lived in the home are now displaced, though. Officials say the fire was caused by carelessly discarded smoke and materials at the front of the house. And the fire caused $50,000 worth of damage.
Also breaking news, we're following a large power outage we've been tracking around the metro is now largely resolved. This is a live look at the power outage map showing fewer than 10 customers without power. There was about 2,000 customers out late last night. So far, no official word on the cause of the outage, but it came during last night's gusty winds. But stay with First Alert 6 on air and online as we work to learn some more information about both of those stories.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 streaming on this Thanksgiving Day Eve.
Hi, Cerise Cole. I'm Erin Hartley, joined by Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. I feel like a lot goes on today, right? Like the grocery stores are going to be crowded. A lot of the families starting to come into town. The roads are going to be pretty busy. So people want to know the forecast for sure. It's going to be a chilly start to the day.
Yeah, you got less wind to fight too today as you're driving around, which is awesome. But no big travel headaches within a couple hours of the metro. Any immediate area driving should be okay as we're getting a good amount of sunshine here. You can see temperatures are cold, though. We've fallen off to 30 degrees and trying to dip a little bit more as the wind continues to relax. Northwest wind at about 18 miles per hour feels like 18 degrees as of now. With all the clearing that's taken place and the wind relaxing a little bit. Have a few clouds. They're moving off towards the northeast, but a bigger picture shows where the travel headaches would be. I would definitely check Minneapolis this morning and then later on check Chicago with flight delays, because any Delta flights that fly through Minneapolis, they've had snow all night and wind, making it tough to keep the runways clean. And then Chicago's going to have snow moving in, and they're going to be dealing with strong wind as well. You can see how the wind gusts are still howling. We're on the west edge of these. Cedar Rapids still at 52. They were 60 miles per hour last hour. So all the strong gusts we had last night are now moving towards the east. And that would be enough, I think, to cause some issues with wind alone in Chicago. So, you know, that's a popular spot to fly through if you've ever flown out of Omaha. The wind gusts for our area will back off quite a bit. Notice by 3-4 o'clock, we're down in the teens for our peak wind gusts. So that's better news. Over the course of the day, these should gradually improve, but it's cold right now while we have those. Even York down to 9 right now with a wind chill. So there are some cold numbers. Feels like 18 at the moment in the metro. We're going through the course of the day. 9 o'clock, clouds really fizzle from 9 to noon. We're up into the mid-30s. And then we get most of our warming done this time of year in the morning hours. Those last 3 hours, the noon to 3 window, maybe tack on a couple degrees, go to 37, and that's it. Peak heating done, and we will see the numbers start to fall off, 33 by 5, and a cold night on the way. Some high clouds try to save us, but likely not enough to get the job done, and we'll see temperatures fall off through the overnight, right into the early morning hours of Thursday. Thanksgiving starting off cold, 20s under the clouds. Teens if you don't have clouds, and I think most of us will be in the teens to start off tomorrow, but likely the best day of the forecast lining up on Thanksgiving itself. So you got sunshine, no big travel headaches, 38 for the afternoon high. You can see Friday here, the first of what looks to be a messy weekend there, 33 for that high on Friday, and I think Friday's snow mostly stays on the Iowa side.
Okay.
So along the river and east where the biggest problems would be with that round.
Yeah, but things get really interesting after that for both states.
Yeah, I think that's when the Saturday snow is going to be the ones that really fill in. It's Friday night into Saturday where that starts to pick up, and that's why we've kept First Alert 6 weather days. Friday snow, again, mostly on the Iowa side in the afternoon into the evening as it develops over our area and moves east. But then it really fills in overnight with rain changing to snow during the early morning hours of Saturday, and then that would linger into the afternoon with at least 2 inches of snow for a good chunk of the area. I think we can set the low end of this pretty well. Now we got to figure out where some of the bigger numbers may end up. No snow on Sunday. I'm taking that out of the equation. Colder, though. Left it as a first alert day because that's going to be the coldest air of the season on the way for Sunday. So here's that little sliver of snow for Friday. It drops in here. You can see it never completely covers Iowa at any one point, but that's where the best odds are going to be for snow through the evening hours. Then it snows overnight through a good chunk of Iowa. We see the rain fill in. And then gradually Saturday morning, that rain-snow line works its way from north to south and changes us all over to snow. So 8, 9, 10 o'clock, a lot of us will change over. And then it's snow into the afternoon on Saturday, with the bulk of the snow in our forecast falling on Saturday. That's held pretty consistent over the last 24 to now 36 hours. So that's some good news. We're starting to see at least a little bit of continuity in the forecast models. That moves out, and Sunday still looks quiet but cloudy and very cold. And that's why we left it as a first alert day. So there's the Friday snow. Through about 11:30, you'll notice light accumulation north and east. It's heading into Saturday where this map really fills in, and then you can see the darker colors to the east, that's more snow. Lighter colors to the southwest, that is less snow. Odds pretty good of getting at least an inch of snow over much of the area, and fairly good of getting at least 2 in the metro. That's what I'm showing you here. These bigger numbers, the 4s and the 6s, those will probably be on our Iowa side and east into Iowa, where they may even go higher. So that's what we'll be watching over the course of the next several days. Where do the bigger numbers set up? How's their snow map set up? 35 for the early high on Saturday, and that'll fall off. That's probably sometime in the morning, and then when our rain changes to snow, bottom falls out. 20 on Sunday and 24 by Monday. Pretty chilly next week. Also another aspect to Saturday too. Don't forget about the wind. That's starting to show up. A little sneaky there. I think even after the snow's done falling, the wind could be blowing it around for a little bit over the course of the afternoon and into the evening on Saturday.
Remember when we were enjoying the 60s? Those were
Oh,
the days.
so nice.
Yeah, wasn't that great?
Wasn't that nice?
Last weekend was, I told you, enjoy it.
You did.
You did. You always do. Okay, let's get an update on the roads this morning.
Yeah.
Could get busier throughout the day, but how's the morning impact look like?
I think without school traffic, that makes a huge difference.
It does.
So hopefully we can keep things pretty quiet. We had a crash at 132nd in Pacific over the last, 20 minutes or so. But that was in the intersection, and as you can see, there's no slowdown, so that leads me to believe that we're probably done with that. That was cleaned up, moved out of the intersection. 72nd and L Street, we had the bridge demolition there. That's still got cones and barricades and barrels all over the place. Watch for that after the wind of last night, as a matter of fact. You could have cones in places where there weren't yesterday with the wind and whipping those around. So until they can get out there and kind of reset things, slow going through that intersection. And the Harney Street Bridge over 480. It's purple on here, showing closed. That is set to reopen after the morning commute today. Not a bad day to do that. Lighter traffic, give them a little time. Maybe something gets delayed a little bit. It won't have a huge impact because there's far less traffic on the roads this morning, and we're really starting to see that. Aside from that little 72nd and L spot, that's a lot of green on the map, which is great, meaning there's not much happening out there. Couple new construction projects that kind of got started this week. This one here of note, the roundabout closed around the Country Club, the Happy Hollow area. It started this week, and this week and the next 2 weeks, it's going to be closed down for repairs, so you can't get through there. But again, all major school districts out of session. Maybe there's one that's going like a half a day. I don't know of it, but there could be. I think we're going to keep things pretty light on the roads.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
we could use that. Rusty, thank you. All right, to your news now. Omaha police say an 18-year-old is now recovering after a shooting in North Omaha. We are told officers were called to the scene near 60th and Laurel yesterday afternoon. There's no word yet on any possible suspects at this point. If you do know anything, you should call Omaha Crime Stoppers. Well, President Trump takes to Truth Social to announce who he's backing for Nebraska governor.
He says Pillen had his complete and total endorsement for re-election. Pillen says he's deeply honored to have Trump's endorsement. Charles Herbster, who has not made a decision on a run for governor, but did run against Pillen in the Republican primary last time around, reacting on Facebook. He says he was disappointed hearing the news. Herbster says he will continue traveling the state, listening to Nebraskans, and evaluating the best path forward. Happening today, a major detour about to end for drivers near Midtown. This is some welcome news. We're told the Harney Street Bridge over I-480 will reopen after the morning commute. Now, crews demolished the bridge back in January. The city plans to take down the nearby Farnham Street Bridge at the start of next year. Both these bridge replacements are part of the streetcar project. We're still waiting to learn the exact date of the Farnham closure, though.
That is good news. Aaron, thank you. All right, here at the Safety Desk with our Maria Kate, and Maria has some simple steps on how we can all stay safer this holiday season.
Unfortunately, we hear it too many times, Cerise, during all the festivities. There are accidents that can happen, and nobody wants that to ruin their holiday. The American Red Cross actually responds to 20% more incidents, home fires specifically, during the holidays. And one of the main reasons for all of that, the cooking. We're all doing a lot for the holidays. So the number one thing to remember, you want to stay in your kitchen the whole time you're making that meal. Use a timer to remind yourself that the stove or the oven is on, and avoid wearing loose clothing or having any sleeves that could dangle over a fire.
You do have to leave the room, turn the stove off for just a minute or two while you leave the room, come back. We don't want to leave that unattended. It doesn't take more than just a couple seconds for a fire to start.
Now, if you are thinking about frying your turkey tomorrow or today, you want to make sure that you do it outside. Stay away from any buildings, any other things that could be in your backyard. Also, make sure it's thawed out. A lot of those huge fires that you saw there in the video, it happens because people dump a frozen turkey in. So you want to make sure it's thawed, dried out. Of course, keep that fire extinguisher nearby in case anything happens. Another problem with using those fryers is people try and use a hose to put it out.
No,
that does not work.
You gotta have the fire extinguisher. So think about where you put it last, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Maria, good information. Thank you. We'll be right back after this short break.
All right, welcome back on this Wednesday morning, the day before Thanksgiving. A lot to do on days like this. We're taking a live look outside, overlooking the Midtown crossing area and the downtown area. It's pretty chilly to start the day, so if you're taking the pups out early, just going for a walk, bundle up.
Yeah, all about the cold right now. We got wind chills down in the teens. Been a little while since we've been here.
Yeah.
So it'll be a shock to the system if you're running out early, heading off to work today. Maybe it's a short day for you. That's awesome if you got that. We have wind chills down in the teens to start off the day. So air's going to sting all day. It'll just sting a little less this afternoon. There's the sunshine out across the area. 30 degrees, it feels like temperature of 18. Now, still got room to fall, I think, for the next couple hours, down into the 20s as these winds really relax from west to east. Notice Cedar Rapids, 52 with a gust. Chicago, 41. Watch that, because that starts to get in that territory where wind may start to delay some flights. It's not snowing there, but it has been in Minneapolis. So those are the two locations you want to watch for any travel delays, I think, in the immediate area. Very popular to go Omaha, Minneapolis, Omaha to Chicago to get a connection flight somewhere else. Winds for us near 30 miles per hour this morning will gradually drop off over the course of the day and should be near 15 miles per hour by the end of the day with our strongest gusts. So first alert forecast shows those clouds, any that are out there, really fading away. So quite a bit of sunshine middle of the day, and then high clouds try to stream in after that. Heading towards 5 o'clock, we're in the 30s, some high clouds moving through. Those will move out pretty quickly too, and overnight we'll fall back to near 20 degrees. Some upper teens, some lower 20s, the way it looks. So I got to the 10-day forecast pretty quickly here because there's a lot to talk about. I want to show you 33 on Friday, 35 on Saturday, 20 on Sunday. 3 first alert 6 weather days we're tracking there. And each one a little bit unique in its own right, but it does look like the day with the biggest snow potential is going to line up on Saturday.
All right, so let's talk a little more about Saturday. And this is the question everybody wants to know. How much snow can we expect that day, Rusty?
All right, let me show you how this is going to, it's going to start off as a little bit of rain for some of us. So that's what we need to watch for Saturday morning here. And you can see the snowfall potential through this. As we go through the course of Saturday, it starts to fill in a little bit more Saturday afternoon and into the evening hours. So you'll see here by 10 o'clock, heavier snow to the northeast, lighter amounts to the southwest on the color scale here. I haven't put official amounts to this yet, but that is something we'll be tracking because I think a widespread area of at least 2 inches with more on the Iowa side most likely. Then Sunday we have 20 degrees for a high. We kept that in the first alert weather days because of the cold air. And you can see Monday 24 with another batch of snow possible. But Sunday would likely be the coldest air we've had so far this season. And you can get a little better idea of the snow. Again, that model that I just showed you there, some heavier totals northeast, lighter to the southwest. What does that mean for us as far as numbers go? Well, pretty good odds of getting at least 2 inches of snow. That's what I'm showing you here. Metro snow odds, more than 2 inches, a 60% chance. About a 50-50 shot of getting over 3 inches of snow in the metro. And these bigger 4s and 6s, those are most likely farther east into Iowa. So our Iowa counties got to watch out for the bigger snow with this round. Again, I think we can set the low end of this pretty well. Now we'll work on, we get new data after the show. We'll put together a map that maybe makes a little more sense here later on.
Yeah. All right, Rusty, thank you. In the meantime, back to more news. You're taking a live look this morning at Eppley Airfield with what is expected to be one of the busiest travel days for the airport.
Yeah, after recent delays and cancellations during the government shutdown, more people are thinking about travel insurance. We spoke with a travel insurance specialist who says the most important things you need to consider are potential weather disruptions and the number of people traveling.
The numbers of people traveling over the holidays is higher than it is most of the rest of the year. So therefore, there's going to be more possibilities of issues with different airlines or situations where you may not be able to utilize what you have booked just because of the sheer number of folks that are trying to get from A to B.
And our First Alert 6 weather team is reminding you to pay attention to the forecast this weekend, especially on the way home. We are back after this. Well, the stage is set for this year's 99th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
That rehearsal got underway Monday night in front of Macy's flagship store in Manhattan. Music stars and Broadway casts include Ragtime and the University of Northern Alabama Marching Pride. At the main stage, you can watch this year's parade right here on First Floor 6 tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. So last week I got the chance to talk to some young ladies who are going to be dancing at the parade this year. They're kind of telling me a lot of information about the week that goes up to this parade. And let me just say, from what they're previewing, it sounds entirely chaotic.
I bet it is.
I mean, I don't want to say stressful. And just all the people who organize and plan that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, it is go time for them.
Can't wait to see them. What group are they in?
They are going to be towards the end, right before Santa comes out.
Okay.
So we'll mention that tomorrow and we'll look for them.
Look for them.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and this morning we have a winner for season 34 of Dancing with the Stars.
America has voted, and the champion is Robert Irwin. Did you predict this, Maria?
Yes.
So just last night, Irwin danced his way to victory alongside his pro partner, Whitney Carson. He is heading now back to Australia with the Lynn Goodman Mirrorball Trophy. Irwin is the son of the late crocodile hunter Steve Irwin. His sister Bindi actually won back in 2015. For the other finalists, influencer Alex Earl came in second place. Didn't know that. Olympic athlete Jordan Childs secured third, and influencer Dylan Efron. Really? He got fourth?
Yeah.
Okay, and actress Elaine Hendricks placed fifth. Okay. You can catch the pros on their tour right here in Omaha. That's May 5th. That show just announced last night.
Yes.
I want to go.
You know I'll be there.
We'll have more information about that on our website, First Alert 6.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Alex Earl. I didn't know she could dance so well.
Well, she only had a little bit of experience in high school, so she really didn't have that ballroom background, but she completely grew throughout the entire season, and she really became an amazing.
Do you agree with these? I know you watch faithfully. Should Jordan have gotten third?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait till you see her freestyle.
Okay.
Incredible. I loved Alex. She was my favorite. So if it was based on true danceability, I would say Alex, but based on the fan vote and the love that everybody has for the Irwins, Robert definitely.
I missed last night, so I'm going to be watching.
That was a deep dive.
Listen.
I have more. I have a lot more.
Listen, she knows. Oh, we got to go. Get ready for our update into today's show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update on the roads and your forecasts with Rusty Lord.
Yeah, quick check of traffic here. Things are pretty quiet all around the area as of right now. We did have a crash earlier on at 132nd and Pacific. That has since gone by the wayside. You can see 72nd and L, still some slowdowns there with the bridge demolition. Not a huge issue there, but the big news will be the Harney Street Bridge over 480. That opens up after the morning commute today, and it'll be open, well, hopefully for a long time. We won't have to ever close that down again. The work will eventually switch to Farnham a little later on next year as they do the same thing. So let's get a look at the forecast. Out there right now, we got decreasing clouds. Temperatures have fallen off to near 30 degrees in the metro. The wind kept the number up a little bit. So far, we've avoided 20s over much of the area. Wind chills are down in the teens. You got wind gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour out of the northwest still, but it's just for a small portion of our area. So over the course of the day, these are going to gradually decrease like they've been doing all night long, I should say. So by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're talking gusts below 20 miles per hour, which is great. A lot better than yesterday. 37 in sunshine for that afternoon high today. Not bad. Colder than it's been, though. 38 on Thursday. Friday starts off a string of First Alert 6 weather days with some afternoon light snow. Most of this on Friday will be on the Iowa side. Aaron?
All right, Rusty, thank you. That breaking news we are following: Omaha fire crews battling an early morning house fire. This happened near 25th and Ellison. No injuries to report, though. Officials say the fire was caused by carelessly discarded smoking materials. Damage estimated to be at around $50,000.
Well, it is 7:28, and we're back with another update for you in 25 minutes. We'll see you then.